Hello and welcome to this ICT theory revision. Today I want to help you get tricks of how you can tackle some of the questions you might receive in your exam. For example, question number 1, if you are asked what is a computer? A computer is basically an electronic machine that takes in and processes data. Then the output of the processing will be useful information. And this useful information you can use to make decisions with. For example, if you have a small company and you want to know how much profit you made, what you will simply do is to use an application like MS Excel, where you will put in data in the spreadsheet. Then the spreadsheet program will help you to process that data using the formulas and even functions. And finally, you will get useful information from that data. That useful information could be information on whether you have made a profit or loss. And that report, you will use it to make your company decisions. So basically, a computer is an electronic machine that takes in data and processes it into useful information that you can use to make decisions. Apart from the use of computer for processing of data, nowadays you find computers being used for communication very much because the gadgets have become smaller. A smaller computer like a smartphone nowadays is used for communication. You can send email, video call, chat, and even browse for more information. So another definition of computer is it is simply a device that is used for communication. Question number 2. Which are the main parts which make up a computer? There are only two, the hardware and the software. When somebody asks you, what is hardware then? Hardware are the physical electronic parts that you can touch, things which you can press, you can move like mouse, buttons, you can press them down. When you open inside the CPU, you see wires, there's a fan, and all those things which you can touch. They are what we call the hardware part of the computer. Now, the software part only runs on the screen, and it is doing a task for the user. For example, if you want to write a letter, you will start a program called MS Word. It will help you by doing the task of writing a letter. So a software must be on the screen and must help you to do a certain task. If something is on the screen and it cannot do any task, like images, they are not software. Those are maybe images or pictures or a wallpaper or a background image. But software must be able to do a task. Question number 3. List examples of hardware devices and categorize them. So, hardware can be categorized into 4 categories. There is only one hardware category called processing devices. The processing device on computer is the CPU. We don't have any other processing device. Another name for CPU is system unit. So when you are asked, give one example of processing devices, you will say CPU. Now, the CPU cannot work alone. It must be connected to other devices. For example, if you want to type some data into the computer or give computer command, you need what we call input devices like mouse, keyboard. Those ones you can use to manipulate the computer. Any device connected to the CPU which is used to feed data into the computer or to give commands to the computer, we call it input device. And examples you can see here, we have mouse, keyboard, joypad, and scanner. Also, after processing, the computer must communicate to you and give you the result. That result which comes from the computer is what we call output. And the CPU must be connected to an output device. And the work of the output device is to show you the result. We have examples here, things like a plotter, printer. These ones give outputs on printed paper. Plotter will give you large images on large sheets of papers. A printer will give small images on printed papers which are small, like A4 or A3. Monitor, this has a screen which shows you what the computer is doing. Projector will show you what the computer is doing on a large screen which is cast on the wall or on a smart board. Another way of categorizing hardware, there is a category called storage devices here. These are simply devices which keep files. They store files for us. Now, the exercise you will do is to go and fill this table with any other device according to your research you will be able to come up with. For example, if you can find out something about joystick, you find out is it input, output, or storage, or processing, then you will fill this table so that it is complete. That is a small exercise for you to do. Question number 4, you can be asked, how can we categorize software types? You know very well, software can be categorized into 2 categories. We have operating system software and applications. The operating systems are the main softwares which manage the hardware, and they take control of everything, including the other smaller softwares which operate in them. And it is the operating system which will start up a computer and show you the desktop where you can do other tasks. We have several examples of operating systems. For larger computers like laptops and desktop computers, MS Windows is one of the famous operating systems. For the smaller devices like tablets and smartphones, we have Android as an example of operating system. Applications now are smaller software that run within the operating system. And the work of the application is to do specific tasks. It could be browsing the internet, writing a letter, calculating, and such things. So it is the operating system which will allow these other applications to be started in it and to run in it. And it will also assist the applications to save documents to the hard drive. So when you are asked the examples of application, there are many like MS Word, Google Chrome, MS Excel, PowerPoint. All those are examples of applications. And here I have a tree diagram which is showing how we can categorize software. Software is a broad term and it can be split into operating systems and applications. And examples of operating systems are Windows and Android. Examples of applications are MS Word, Google Chrome, Notepad, Excel, and many others. Now, this is a very good revision video tutorial, and I wish you all the best in any examination in ICT you'll do in future. Please go ahead and do further research beyond whatever I have presented so that you increase your knowledge in ICT theory. Thank you for participating. See you next time. Bye-bye.